Hello, I'm Jake, bringing you another Percy Jackson YouTube video. So, if you like babies, you like Percy Jackson, I think this is a video for you. If you like hearing some random dude talk about those things. Because today, I'm going to talk about Estelle Blofis, or Blofis, however you pronounce that name. I'm not actually sure. I usually think it was Blofis because they compare it to blowfish. So blowfish would make sense. But then one time I was listening to Rick read Battle Labyrinth and he said Blofis. So I've been confused ever since. But anyway, Estelle Blofis, we're going to talk about her. So stay tuned if you're into that. Okay, first off, I just wanted to speculate about what she looks like. So I just think that's interesting. So this is kind of going to be a little sciencey, which I hate science, but in this case we'll make it work for us. So ideally, if I could make Estelle look however I wanted to, like when she's older, obviously, I would make her look exactly like Percy. You know, black hair, green eyes. Plus, it's really rare. Like, I don't think I've actually ever met someone with black hair and green eyes. But that wouldn't make sense at all for her to look like that because Percy gets those traits from Poseidon. And Poseidon is not Estelle's daddy. Paul is Estelle's daddy. And Paul, we don't actually have much physical traits, descriptions for Paul. We're just told he has salt and pepper hair, and we're not actually given an eye color. And according to Percy Jackson Wiki, he's an attractive feller. So there you go. And Sally is blue eyes and brown hair. So according to that, Estelle's probably going to have dark hair. Let's just say black, so at least she have that comparison to Percy. In terms of eye color, we don't really, it's hard to say because Paul eye color isn't shown. Paul probably has like brown eyes because that's more common for people with dark hair. But I think it would be cool if she had black hair and blue eyes because that's kind of a little rare too. So it'd be cool for her to have some like more rare traits and then Percy to have more rare traits. But anyway, she's definitely going to be an attractive child because Sally and Paul are both attractive. So watch out, boys. Percy's going to beat you up when you flirt with her. The next thing I want to talk about is what's her role going to be in the books, or what would I like it to be. So obviously we haven't actually seen her yet. We just heard her mentioned in Ship of the Dead in the first few parts where Percy was actually in the book, which wasn't that long, by the way. And it just says that her last name's Blofis because her father is Paul, and Percy has to like babysit her and all that stuff. So in terms of like roles in the book, I don't see anything like futuristic for Rick. Like I don't see him writing a book like 15 years in time for the Percy Jackson universe because that's like, or like 12 years or whatever, because that's really the only way we would see Estelle grown. So I think basically Estelle's purpose is just to be kind of cute and be like, hey, Sally has another kid. That's cool. Paul has a kid, and Percy has a little sister now. So that's really cool and cute. So, but I think reasonably so, it would be that we can maybe see some babysitting sessions. Maybe Percy babysitting Estelle with Annabeth babysitting, helping, and just that type of stuff. I think that would be reasonable and really cute and something that Rick should totally do. And according, it looks like Percy and Annabeth might be in the Trials of Apollo a little bit. I don't know how much, obviously, because the new books haven't come out yet. But it would be totally reasonable for that kind of stuff to happen. So I hope that does. By the way, if you guys, there's this comic dub that Hayden Davio does about Percy babysitting Estelle, and her like, he has to wear a bunch of band-aids. So you guys should totally watch that. It's really funny. Next, I just wanted to hit the big theory, which if you're active within the Percy Jackson fandom or whatever, you probably heard this theory. But this theory is that Estelle is Bianca D'Angelo reborn. Which is a really interesting theory. And like, realistically, that it doesn't really make sense because that'd be like, well, out of all the odds, like how would that happen? But this is a fictional book, and the coincidence is kind of a lot, I think, because Bianca has just chosen to go to Rebirth. That was mentioned in Son of Neptune, I'm pretty sure. And then Wada Bing, next series later, Estelle, Blofis is born. Also a girl. So, I feel like that's an opportunity that Rick shouldn't pass up. Even if you don't really do anything with it, it's still like a really cool feature to have. You know, that Percy, who Nico has blamed for Estelle's death. Bianca's death. Sorry, no. Okay, if she dies now, I'm going to be really upset with myself. With Bianca's death, and Percy probably blames himself with Bianca's death. Obviously, it wasn't Percy's fault. Bianca made a choice. She saved a bunch of people. Cool stuff. Now we're all sad because it's sad. But it would be pretty cool if now Percy has a chance to kind of, in a way, like be there for her now. It's just really complicated, but cool at the same time. But I really don't know how Rebirth works. It never really explains that. Because obviously, we've seen Luke before say that he's going to go for Rebirth. So he can go get Elysium 3 times and then go to the Isles of the Blessed. But so I've always been confused of like, how does Rebirth actually work? Like when you are born again, do you know who you were previously? Which really wouldn't make sense because that kind of be like cheating on life to know everything about it already. But then like, how would you know if you got Elysium 3 times if you don't remember your previous lives? I guess like just the judges just tell you that? I don't know. I guess the judges just tell you. But anyway, it's really confusing, but cool at the same time. So if Estelle is Bianca Reborn, which I think there's a good chance of that happening, like what is going to happen with that? I just think it'll maybe be like Nico just kind of bawling, maybe. And I don't think we've actually seen Nico. Have we seen Nico cry? I'm not sure. But it would be a really emotional moment with Nico and Estelle and Percy and like everyone. And I can imagine the tears of the Percy Jackson fandom already just flowing. But yeah, besides that, I don't really see a lot happening. But I think that's a really cool theory. I don't know who came up with it first, but it's a really cool theory. And I hope it happens. And I think there's a good chance of it happening. So there you go, guys. That's just some of my thoughts on Estelle. Not a lot, but she's really cool. It's really cool that she's in the books right now, and I hope Rick actually does something with her instead of just like use her as like a tease or whatever. But anyway, it's still really cool that she's in there, and just the thought of Estelle and Paul having a kid, and Percy having a new little sister is really cool. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you want, you can tell me some of your thoughts on Estelle or whatever in the comments. I'd love to chat about it. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and have a good day or night, wherever you are.